1, 2, 3. Come on, lift the weights.
I don't feel strong today. What are you talking about?
2, 3.
No, thank you.
Come on.
No, thank you.
Fine.
We are not in a gym. I'm Miss Gianna.
And I'm Mr. Matt.
And welcome back to our awesome announcements.
Welcome, everybody. We've got a really cool new offering project starting this month.
But first, we're going to wrap up our last offering project because you guys did such a good job and we need to celebrate it.
Yes. That's right. What do you mean? We wrapped it up.
Like it's October now.
Oh, cool.
The other one ended.
So how much did we raise together?
Guess.
$50?
What? No, that's so little. Our kids did way better than $50.
Really? Okay, so maybe $100?
Think bigger.
So $500?
Bigger.
$1,000?
Actually, we raised over $1,000 for our Bolivia partner church. That's so much money, you guys.
Wow, that is so much. You guys did such a great job giving your offering.
So we're gonna keep that up for the next project because it's a really cool one too.
So what's our new project?
We are going to be sending our offering from October to December to the Calgary Pregnancy Care Center, and that's gonna help them with all sorts of projects they have going.
Really? Okay, like what? You gotta tell us. What are we gonna be doing?
Well, we'll talk more about it in the next few weeks, but one of the projects we're gonna be helping with is buying books for little kids so that they can read together with their families.
Oh, reading as a family can be so much fun. You know what? I think this is gonna be a great project.
It really is. So make sure you guys give your offering in and let's get started.
Wow, that's all we have for you guys today. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. We're so glad you're here. I'm Milana.
And I'm Rob. Milana, I think it's your turn to talk.
Well, yes, but today we're waiting.
Waiting? Waiting for what?
You'll see.
Is it a good surprise? Should I be scared?
Just enjoy the anticipation.
We got a story to introduce. Our friends are all here. Look at, and they're really excited. They're ready. You just don't want to let them down.
We're not letting them down. We're going for experiential learning today.
Experiential. But we're not experiencing anything right now. We're just waiting. It's just utter and complete boredom. Where's the fun? The pizzazz, pizzazz, fun. Woohoo! Maybe we could pull out an experiment or something. That's always fun. What do you think? Or maybe some balloons. Woohoo! Look at it. We can have fun.
Clearly, you didn't read the lesson.
What? Sure did. It was talking about a king, wasn't it? Let's see. King. Ha! There. Remember the crown? Yeah. I've got a big head.
You're not going to need any of that.
What?
No, you're not going to need any of that.
But this story is exciting.
Yes, it is exciting, but it's so much more than about a king.
Well, what's it about? What's it about? Come on, tell me.
Wait and see.
Oh, we're almost out of time for our introduction. I think we waited long enough.
No, you don't get it. That's what our story's about. Waiting.
Oh.
Let's check it out.
Okay.
God's story, David and Saul. So part of God's story is about two guys named David and Saul, and it begins like this. You may have heard of David before, the little shepherd boy who stood up to the massive warrior Goliath and won. But that isn't the whole story. In fact, that's really only a part of it. The rest of the story starts with a man named Saul. See, God wasn't very happy with Saul, Israel's first king. The people of Israel had begged God's prophet Samuel to give them a king so they could be more like other nations. God warned the Israelites they would regret it, but gave them Saul as their king. And like anyone, King Saul wasn't perfect and soon started to mess up, disobeying God and leading Israel away from him. And that's where our friend David comes in. God wanted a new king to replace Saul, So he sent Samuel to a man named Jesse. Jesse showed Samuel his eldest sons, big and strong men. Samuel thought for sure that one of these impressive boys was to be king, but God had other plans. God told Samuel to find another son, so Jesse brought in little David. Even though David was a little scrawny and had the smelly job of taking care of sheep, God told Samuel to look at more than his appearance. Samuel obeyed and anointed David, God's special way of choosing people. When David was anointed, the good spirit that had been helping Saul rule left him and was replaced with a new spirit that wouldn't leave him alone. Imagine there was a bee buzzing around in your brain that you couldn't do a thing about. That may be what it was like for Saul. Since Saul was going a little crazy, his servants had David, a great harp player, come to the palace and play music to calm the king. Now, one day, David came to bring his brothers, who were working as soldiers, some lunch. What started out as a lunch delivery soon turned into one of the most famous stories in the Bible, where tiny David took down the massive warrior Goliath with a single stone. After this, David was like a famous rock star. In fact, David was so popular that Saul worried people would start thinking David should be king instead. Saul began to try and kill him, sending him on dangerous quests where any normal guy would have died, and even threw a spear at his head once. Eventually, things got so bad that Jonathan, Saul's son, who David had become great friends with, helped David escape. David wandered for years trying to stay out of Saul's grasp. Twice, Saul even got so close that David had the opportunity to kill him. But David refused to kill the king in charge. David continued to flee from Saul for years, and without God's blessing, Saul's army was losing to the Philistines. Soon enough, Saul's army had been defeated. Jonathan had died, and the Philistines were now chasing them. Saul was so afraid of capture that he chose to fall on his own sword instead of letting the Philistines catch him. When David heard of Jonathan and Saul's death, he went out and avenged them. And with Saul dead, David returned to Israel and at last took his place as God's new king. And that's the story of David and Saul. So, in case you missed it, here's the quick version. God made Saul king. Saul disobeyed God. God said he would take the kingdom away from Saul and chose David. David became popular. Saul became fearful of David. David had to run away. David wandered for years. Saul died. David avenged Saul. David took over as Israel's chosen king. And that's a part of God's story.
Oh, I get it. Now you're making us wait to hear what the story was about because David had to wait to become king.
That's right. Samuel didn't anoint David
That's
and
what
then
it was.
poof, David was king. Nope. David had to wait a really long time. But he knew that God is faithful, even if it takes a while, and he will keep his promises.
Yeah, it can be really hard to wait. I hate waiting.
Me too.
Especially when we know that God is up to something. I just want to see what's going to happen right now.
I know, it can be so hard to wait. And sometimes we might even start to doubt. We might think we heard God wrong or that he isn't going to keep his promises. But when we read the Bible and we hear stories like this, we can remember that even if it takes a long time, God is faithful.
Faithful is a big word, isn't it? Do you know what it really means?
I do. Faithful means to be loyal or steadfast. Basically, it means you keep your promises no matter what. The Bible talks about how God is faithful, and that's what our new memory verse is about this month. So let's stand up, and I'll show you how it goes.
Alrighty.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. What the Lord says is right and true. We're making a T.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
He is faithful in everything he does. Psalm 33:4.
Wow, that's a great reminder that we can keep trusting God. Why don't we say it all together?
I think we can.
All
Okay,
right.
let's do it.
What the Lord says is right and true. He is faithful.
in
everything he does.
Psalm 33:4.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah,
Have
we'll
a
get
seat.
it.
Have a seat. Yeah, we get it eventually. So, if I understand faithfulness, God is faithful all the time,
That's right.
even when I can't see what He's up to.
And that's what our bottom line talks about. God is faithful when I need to wait. Hey, let's turn it into a question. I'll ask the question, and the bottom line is the answer that you can all say together.
All right.
When is God faithful?
God is faithful when I need to wait.
Let's try it again. When is God faithful?
God is faithful when I need to wait. What a great reminder of God's faithfulness. I'm so glad we can have people in the Bible whose lives help us remember God's faithfulness, even when it feels like something's taken forever.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Well, we'll see you next time, friends. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
Great is thy faithfulness, O God my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever will be. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Come on, now sing it. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Summer and winter and springtime and harvest. Sun, moon, and stars in their courses above. Join with all nature in manifold witness to thy great faithfulness, mercy, and love. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see.